Now to our Europe editor, Catherine Nicholson, who joins us from Brussels. Catherine, looks like you'll be taking the train back. The question is, when will you be doing it all again?
Oh, that's a very good question, and perhaps not so much of a train as a roller coaster, don't you think, Francois, since Salzburg, when that last summit ended on a very sort of grumpy tone all round. I think that perhaps, I don't want to speculate ever, but I think that perhaps the next time we're at a summit where we're talking about Brexit, I think it's more likely to be December than November. December is the only official summit on the European Union calendar at this point. There had been mooted a November summit for the 17th, 18th of November that weekend, but this summit has ended and that is not on the calendar. It's obviously time marching on. It is difficult to get these heads of state together, and if November 17th isn't on the calendar yet, I'd be surprised if they put it on there.
So we're now looking at December. All the parliaments have to ratify it, and it has to be done and dusted by March of next year. And again, we heard those remarks from the European Commission president. He didn't sound alarmed or panicked, but he did say there'd be that extension, probably, were his words, probably, of the transition period after Brexit.
Yeah, we had Jean Claude Juncker, who's the head of the Commission, who was almost saying outright, we're going to have an extension to the transition period for Brexit. He seemed very casual about putting that out there, in fact. That could be very significant because, of course, it's the European Commission that's doing the negotiation, not any other part of the European Union. Perhaps Jean Claude Juncker is right there. He said that this would give some room for negotiating the UK's future relationship with the European Union. It is true that the current transition period that's in the calendar is not very long, March 2019 to December 2020. It's not even 2 years. And if you remember, it took the EU and Canada 7 years to pin down their trade deal. So a lot of people here, including it would seem Jean Claude Juncker, thinking that yes, just giving everybody a little bit more breathing space would be good for that. Let's not forget, however, there is, of course, the domestic situation in the United Kingdom. There are many people who voted to leave the European Union back in that referendum in 2016 who just wanted to leave pretty much on that day. They're feeling like they've already waited for 2 years. If they add more to the transition period, then they're wondering how much longer this is going to go on, and if indeed the UK will really and truly leave the European Union, or if this is all a can that's being kicked further and further down the road.
And just briefly, what's your gut instinct on that Northern Ireland question? Are they really still far apart, or can, for domestic reasons, Theresa May have to show that she's fighting before she eventually bends?
I think it's we've gone beyond gut feelings, unfortunately, when it comes to the Northern Ireland border. It seems like such an intractable question. What I do know is that I've spoken to some diplomats from Ireland who've said, look, there are technical solutions, there are ways of doing customs checks that would avoid this hard border. It's all very new, it's very innovative, and you know we're really trying to invent something here, but they believe there are solutions. Emmanuel Macron as well, when he gave his closing press conference, he said that they've gone over many technical solutions to the Northern Irish border issue. He believes that there are solutions as well, and he was very much saying the ball is in the UK's court. It is up to Theresa May now to make some political calculations. She has, of course, those 10 Northern Irish members of Parliament supporting her government, threatening to vote down her national budget that's coming up in November if they don't get what they want on the Northern Irish border issue. But yes, it does look like technical solutions do exist. Whether they're politically palatable to Theresa May, to her cabinet, to the wider UK public, that absolutely remains to be seen. The one thing that we all hate saying in journalism, but it does, it remains to be seen.
All right, we will continue to stay tuned. Many thanks.